Hello everyone, my name is Sin Fury Heart, and I'm here to talk about Persona 3 Reload. First thing to mention, I have played the original on the PS2, FES, also known as The Answer, and Persona 3 Portable. I'll be discussing this revised version, the quality of life changes, visual improvements, and the overall experience of replaying this since the original came out, which was 17 years ago. It has been a very long time for me, and I am so damn happy to replay it all over again. Persona 3 is my first introduction to the Persona series. After I beat it, I got curious about the other Persona games. I've only played Persona 1, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, and moved on to Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5, and Persona 5 Royal. If you're new to the series or have experienced Persona 3 at all, I highly recommend this revised version to try out. When I introduce the Persona series to new players, I usually recommend Persona 5 Royal, but now that Persona 3 Reload is here, it feels like both versions are acceptable for people who want to dive into the series. I am fully aware that most of the changes in Persona 3 Reload are more in favor of Persona 5. The UI has been heavily revised. Moving around through dungeons is a lot more open and less cramped like in the original version. New cutscenes, quality of life improvements, and so much more.
Excellent! I have dodged the attack! I won't lose!
Appreciate that was close! Let's beat him to a pulp! Let him have it, fellas! How do you like that? Be gone! Just kidding.
In the original Persona 3 version, it had this fatigue system to where your party members would run out of stamina and could no longer continue exploring Tartarus. This was less of an issue as you continue with the game. But now in Reload, you do not have to worry about exhausting your party members too much. As someone who enjoys grinding for hours and trying to get the best Persona to have, I welcome this new change. I understand the reasons for removing certain features and adding in new ones. It was an obvious decision to bring in a new audience, especially since Persona 5 was a huge success. It makes sense that they would bring the features from Persona 5 and move over to Persona 3 Reload. I'm not saying the older games before Persona 3 are terrible, not at all, but they are extremely difficult to get into, especially when old school dungeon crawlers are a major time sink and a lot of grinding involved. The new features in Persona 3 Reload are amazing. You can skip cutscenes, speed up cutscenes, and so on. The new cutscenes were also added in Persona 3 Reload, allowing you to explore these characters a lot more than before. The music in this game is still amazing like the original. Most of the songs have been revised into remix versions. Master Destruction is still awesome to listen to.
All right.
Let's do this!
A rare enemy! It'd be great if
One
we can
step at a
defeat
time.
it!
Persona!
Now's the time! Persona!
Let's see. Yeah! My Time to shine! Finishing move! Now, what's the plan?
Tartarus is a lot more fun to explore now. In the original PS2 version, it felt very cramped at times, so you had to be extra careful when exploring. In the new version, I really enjoyed wide open areas. This allows me to hide and watch the shadows from afar. Sadly, the camera can be a pain at times, and I know other players are not a fan of this. The camera was always tricky in the previous games, which is kind of sad they did not bother to fix it, but that's just how it is. The new features in Tartarus really makes it feel like a whole new experience. One of the features added in Persona 3 Reload is Theurgy. It is a really amazing feature to help with really tough boss battles, or when your party needs some support as soon as possible. Fuuka also has a Theurgy ability as well. I enjoy having more advantages in a tough battle. Your navigator, Fuuka, has become more amazing with new abilities that are similar to Futaba from Persona 5. Finding monad doors adds more challenge while you explore this place. Inside these rooms is a strong enemy and treasure chest. Defeat the boss and the treasure chest is yours, along with a good amount of EXP to help grinding levels to go a little faster.
Let's do this! Let me handle this! It's not over yet! Out of my sight!
That about does it.
Let's get
No
going.
shadows detected.
I am sure that most players know that the original voice cast has been removed and brought in new voice actors. I think most of the new voice actors do an amazing job. Some of these new voice actors I am familiar with, and I knew about them being involved since their announcements on social media. I knew that they would handle these voice roles in a very good way. Some of the original voice actors are still in the game, such as Grant George, for example. He originally played the voice of Shinjiro and is now the voice of Mitsuru's father, Takeharu Kirijo. Akihiko's original voice actor, Liam O'Brien, is now Officer Kurosawa.
Kurosawa-san!
I'll handle these two. I've already cleared it with the brass. I don't know what's going on here, but you better not be starting any trouble. Then why'd we get a report from two ladies saying you were attacked by a group of punks?
They wanted to test my strength. I was just giving them what they wanted.
In the middle of a public street? You really need to think things through. Listen, I'm an officer of the law. I don't care who you are. Anyone who disturbs the peace is gonna have to deal with me. As you can see, your friend here is a bit of a hothead. I know it won't be easy, but try and keep an eye on him, would ya?
Watching this scene made me so happy because it is so nice to see the original and new voice actors in the scene together like this. Some flaws that I wanted to share. The sports activity clubs are cut down to just one. I will be honest, at first I did not notice it because it has been so long since I played the original. And I played Persona 4 and Persona 5 afterwards. I had completely forgotten that there was more than one sports activity club you could pick. I think it's sad they had to remove the others and narrow it down to one, but it is what it is. The answer is also an upcoming DLC. I will not be buying this DLC, since I have played the original version of FES anyways. As time goes on, Atlus/Sega will continue to be greedy, and there's really not much that can be done about it. I'm not really okay with this idea, especially since the original version had the journey and the answer together. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. It was a fun time revisiting one of my favorite Persona games. Playing this game and Star Ocean, the second story arc back to back, has given me feelings of nostalgia since I played these games when they originally came out. There are a lot of great RPGs that were released in the 90s or early 2000s, and I hope they will make a comeback to modern day consoles and remind people why they are so amazing. I hope game companies continue to revise these older games and make it enjoyable for a new audience to experience. I want to remind you all that I have a Patreon, and the more people who can join, the more I can allow video suggestions for future projects. And I also do voting for paid members. Link is in the description. Take care and have a good day.
Yeah? Well, alright then.
Once you start something, you gotta see it through to the end. I only dabbled in this back when I was a kid, but it'll probably turn out fine.